draw brush like this. So let's continue the process orbiting around underside of the mushroom as shown here. You can orbit it like this in order to set it in any position you want. Let's add more stroke from the inside to the outer edge like this. So be sure to overlap your strokes until you have something that looks like the following figure. So let's smooth the area where the stem meets the top part of the mushroom. I'm making use of draw brush as well as smooth brush by holding the shift key. And smooth this part over there. Just like this. I think it's fine. So now let's move on to the stem to add some organic looking details to the stem part. I'm gonna be using the draw brush with a radius of 39 pixels like this. Set it to 39 pixels, hit enter. Start at the strokes from top to the bottom of the stem like this. So hold Ctrl key to invert your brush direction. And you have added these finer details, and that's great to create a realistic mushroom. So just I want to make other topology, changing and playing with some geometry and trying to add some different finer details. So this time how to smooth out the upper edges, and it doesn't affect these edges, these parts over here. We should enable this option, which is front faces only, and go over here. So let's make the radius of the brush much bigger. Let's smooth it out like this. Just use the smooth brush shown here, set radius to 39, and change and make the strength much bigger as shown in our example over there. Just I want to smooth it and add the organic looking details to make it realistic, like this in our example. And we have got this great result. It's a realistic mushroom, and adding much more details later. Let's add much more finer details as shown in our example. So just I'm gonna be activating this draw brush. Hold Ctrl. So we want to add more finer details, organic looking details like this. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough. I want to add some a tiny bit finer details to the stem part, like this. I'm gonna be setting just a radius to 8 strength. If you want, you can increase it and using draw brush. I'm gonna be adding some random organic looking details. Let's decrease strength, like this. I think this will be fine and will be so good for our 3D model, the mushroom. Let's use now this brush, the smooth brush, and decrease the strength. So just set it to 2.5. I want to smooth some parts and some, just like this. I think this will be so fine. Let's move on now to show you this method, and this step is how to use a lattice to shape your overall model as shown in our example, because we have some topology changing over there. So we look at how to use a lattice object and modifier to change overall shape of the mushroom model. A lattice is great for adjusting the overall shape of this because this is not a realistic model. Firstly, we need to ensure that you are back in the layout like this. Click to switch to workspace, layout workspace shown in our example. By clicking the layout tab at the top of the interface as shown here. So let's now create a new lattice object by pressing Shift A. So Shift A is gonna be showing up the add menu. Let's select a lattice, go over here, search for lattice. Then you will see a wireframe cube appear in the scene. This is a lattice object. So just want to scale it in order to see it, because it's very small like this. So let's scale it up to make it bigger and appropriate to our 3D model. So now we want, let's scale the lattice as I have done in this tutorial. So orbit around the model like this to ensure that our mushroom fits inside the lattice object like this. So now let's configure our lattice object. With the lattice selected, click the object data properties panel to access its properties. It's over there, click on it. Then go over here. Go over here, over this tab, lattice tab like this. Should set this to 3 and set the V to 3 and set the W to 3 like this. It's gonna be making this lattice with much more detail. We see the lattice updating in 3D viewport editor. So now that we have created our lattice object, we also need to create a lattice modifier that will link or bind our lattice object to our model in the next. So let's move on to see it in the next section. Click on the mushroom to select like this. In 3D viewport, then click on modifier properties and add lattice modifier. Let's add a lattice modifier. It's over there. And you have added a lattice modifier as shown here. You have to make sure that the panel of the lattice modifier is below the multi-resolution modifier. Click on this object box inside the lattice modifier and select the lattice. Like this. It's gonna be setting it to lattice like this. You can also use the eyedropper to pick it from the 3D viewport. So now let's see how to shape our 3D model, our mushroom, using this lattice modifier. Click lattice object in the 3D viewport like this. Select it and press tab to enter edit mode like this. Then you will now see points on the lattice modifier. Click to select one of this and using the G key move it around. See how it affects the shape of the mushroom. Just select it and grab it on the Z-axis like this. It's gonna be affecting the shape of the mushroom as shown in our 3D model. So just move it down a tiny bit. Just like this. Click on the leftmost button to confirm. Just I want to move it on the x-axis. Click on leftmost button to confirm. Move this vertex along the z-axis. Click on leftmost button to confirm. I think it will be fine and great. The 3D mushroom. It's a realistic model. If you have no idea about the shape of the mushroom, you can add an image as a reference in order to show you some finer details for your 3D model. And that's it for this tutorial. See you in next tutorial. Thanks for watching.